We are now in the territory of action. I wish I had one of those things, that they use for movies where it's like, take one, take two, right? It's black and white. It's got the different, things written on it for the different scenes and everything. This is all about action. That's where we are now. And what do we do? Well, what are we learning to do? We're learning to look more at action and actions than we are at listening to words, noise, what people say. Why? Because people can say whatever the fuck they want. That's just the reality of it. Does it mean that what they say is actually going to happen? No. By the way, I have to make this very clear, and I'm not claiming superiority in this area. No, I'm not. I don't know why I said that so emphasized. Actually, as I say this, I reflect and I look back on my life. There have been multiple times, even recently, where I have communicated that something would be different, maybe like a behavior on my end, and it didn't change. I want to make a humbling, I guess, proclamation or just a statement right now in saying that I do not have it all figured out. I don't. I do not get on these videos with the intention of being like, whoa, look at me. No. Actually, like, this is honestly just a process of introspection, and many times it's difficult for me to admit that I suck at a lot of things. I really do. And one of those things is communicating that something is going to change and then it just doesn't change. But that doesn't mean that I'm not learning to, be somebody who communicates difference and actually be different. But I'm also looking to focus more on action and behavior rather than what is said in people. From everything that I've learned on my journey of healing, in a professional setting and everything, can people change? They can. Is it likely? It really depends on quite a few things, actually. And you can usually tell, right? The likelihood that somebody will change is correlated to their level of motivation, interest, drive, to change, right? And if they're going to, then they're going to. If they're not going to, then they're not going to. I think that it's really that simple. And so, really what this video is all about is the theme of getting much more comfortable with observing behavior and listening a lot less to what is said, right? Because behavior is a communication, right? It communicates to you where a person's at. Quite honestly, it doesn't fucking matter if the person has apologized. It's great, but if somebody hurts you, they apologize, and then they do the same fucking thing again, that tells you everything you need to know. And if they don't apologize again and be like, wow, I really fucked up, I need to do better, right? If they just keep running through the same fucking landmines and just exploding the scene and really hurting you, they're not going to change. It is absolutely important to look at behavior first, because again, if somebody does something that hurts you and they apologize and you're like, it's okay, thank you, you know, and you have the hope that it will change and it doesn't change, you've got yourself a problem on your hands. And that's just the reality of it. Not only a problem, but maybe potentially, a situation where you need to walk away from. That's just the reality of it. I have bullshitted myself. I don't know why it sounded weird to say bullshitted. I have bullshitted other people. I've told people that I'm going to do things that I didn't do. And that's just the reality of it, right? I do, however, have the willingness to look at myself and to consider change, consider something different. And I think that that's the really important element here, because nothing's going to change if you don't decide to change, right? But also, nothing's going to change for you as a person if you continue allowing people to hurt you, apologize, and then hurt you again, and then apologize, and then hurt you again, and then apologize. If it's just the abusive cycle at that point, then that's really not healthy. I may have been in that boat before myself. Again, this is a humbling experience for me, because I mean, I can understand that there are probably people out there that don't want to admit to their fuckery, admit to their bullshit and everything. It's oftentimes not fun to, look at yourself and be like, yeah, I've seriously sucked, right? I'm very interested in personal and spiritual development as a human. I'm very interested in getting better on literally a daily basis, right? So calling my own shit for what it is very important. It's humbling. It kind of throws the fragile ego into a wicked witch of the West kind of style, I'm melting, right? That's what the ego starts to say, and it's like, why are you doing this to me, right? And then it's like, well, we gotta get better. And the ego, I almost said the eagle. The ego wants to blame everyone else, right? Well, I would argue more so a wounded ego, right? Narcissistic wounding. But really, that's just the reality of it, right? Learning to look at behaviors rather than what's said. If someone apologizes, thank you. If they do it again, great. Meaning if they hurt you again. And then, obviously abusive cycles are clear as a rainbow. Maybe that's not a great metaphor to use. They're as clear as the blue sky on a clear day. Whatever, I tried. Looking at behaviors, looking at actions. What is a person doing? It doesn't really matter a whole lot what a person's saying. It matters what they're doing, right? Are they becoming better? Are they actually following their apology? That's the important thing. If they are, great. Maybe they are actually changing. If they aren't, yeah, no, I don't think so.